Stephen Moore, someone you appointed to your Open the Country task force, is organizing a protest in Wisconsin. But aren't they, in a sense, protesting your very own guidelines?
Well, we have a flexibility. I didn't see what Stephen said.
He said we need to be the Rosa Parks of government injustices.
Well, there is a lot of injustice. When you look at Virginia, where they want to take your guns away. So, yeah, I mean, I could see where he's coming from. I think it's a strong statement, because hopefully this will be over very soon for all of us. But some have gotten carried away.
There you see President Trump at his press conference yesterday talking about how I think some states have gotten carried away with their stay-at-home restrictions. We're joined now by the Democratic governor of Washington, Jay Inslee. And Governor Inslee, thank you for joining us this morning. You also seen those tweets from the president saying, liberate Michigan, liberate Virginia, and you believe that's dangerous.
I don't know any other way to characterize it when we have an order from governors, both Republicans and Democrats, that basically are designed to protect people's health, literally their lives, to have a president of the United States basically encourage insubordination, to encourage illegal activity. These orders actually are the law of these states. And again, these are not just Democrats, these are Republican-led states as well. To have an American president to encourage people to violate the law, I can't remember any time during my time in America where we have seen such a thing. And it is dangerous because it can inspire people to ignore things that actually can save their lives. And I don't know there's another way to characterize it. And it is doubly frustrating to us governors because this is such a schizophrenia, because the president basically is asking people, please ignore Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birch. Please ignore my own guidelines that I set forth, because those guidelines made very clear, if you read them, and I don't know if the president did or not, but if you read them, it made very clear that you cannot open up Michigan today or Virginia. Under those guidelines, you need to see a decline in the infections and fatalities, and that simply has not happened yet. So yes, we hope that there could be a restoration of leadership in the White House rather than hobbling our national efforts to protect people from this terrible virus.
And where do things stand in Washington right now? How close are you to meeting the guidelines to start to relax the restrictions in the end of phase one?
Well, there's a lot of good news in Washington. We've been very united as a state. There's been massive compliance with our stay home, stay healthy order. People are really pitching in. They feel a sense of commonality and unity. We're very proud of Washingtonians because we've been able to bend the curve down. And the reason we've been able to do this is we've made decisions based on data, based on science, based on some of the best geneticists and epidemiologists in the world here at the University of Washington and other labs. So we have a lot of things to be happy about and prideful about. The problem, however, though, is we still have not got the curve going down. We're sort of plateaued, if you will. We want to make sure we wrestle this beast to the ground. And the reason is you have to get the infections down to a low enough number where you can handle it through very vigorous, robust testing and contact tracing. We are building an army to act sort of like a fire brigade. You know, when your house is on fire, you call the fire department, they come quickly. We need the same capability when you have symptoms to get you tested and isolated as appropriate. So we need to get those numbers down to be in that really reopening stage and contact tracing stage. And I'm looking forward to that happy day when we get to that downward curve.
And setting expectations for your citizens across the country, what's your expectation of when you're going to get close to something like normal? You heard Mayor Garcetti in Los Angeles say no big gatherings until 2021. Governor Newsom of California and her neighbor saying this new normal is going to look very, very different. What kind of expectations are you setting for your citizens?
Well, everybody is very anxious to have a date. You know, they're wanting to get out and see their grandkids. They're wanting to get back to work. People without a paycheck have extreme anxiety about this. And so this is something very, very deep, a yearning, a lust to have that date to be able to shoot for. But obviously no one has a crystal ball, no matter how intelligent they are, to know exactly where that date is. And so what I've been encouraging folks is to focus on the single most important date in our country right now, and that's today, April 19th. It's the day we can control our destiny. It's the day we can decide to continue to stay home as appropriate. It's the day we can encourage our researchers. We've got to focus on what the here and now, what we can actually do. Now, we think things are going to improve, and we hope it's in the next several weeks so that we can get to the next stage of dialing this. And by the way, this is not a light switch. This is going to be a dial where we can help businesses reopen and give them the advice and the technical expertise so they can do that in a safe way so that we can get back to perfect our remote learning with our students, because our schools are not going to be able to open this year, but we can have better remote learning. So we're happy to get that day as soon as we can.
Right.
And what I'm trying to encourage people is focus what we can do today.
Finally, sir, Washington is one of 5 states to have basically all mail-in voting. You've seen the president come out and say that that is more susceptible to voting fraud than other forms of voting. What has been your experience, and what is your response to those claims by President Trump?
The water's great. Jump in. This is a tremendous work in democracy because it's the easiest, safest, most reliable voting there is. Our numbers have gone up on voter participation. This effort has been a spectacular success. There is zero reason not to have a mail-in ballot in any conditions, and certainly when people have to risk their lives to go physically vote right now with this COVID epidemic. So I know that there are some in the other party who are afraid that more people will vote if we have that. That should not be a fear, it should be a hope. And we should increase voter participation any way we can. So if you look at the experience of states, Oregon, that has led this effort, it's just been fantastic. Virtually no fraud and increased participation. People love it. We love it so much that I actually bought a stamp for everyone out of my emergency funds last year, and now we've made that a stable thing. So I hope people will, instead of suppressing votes, let's encourage voting. That's the first thing we can do.
Governor Inslee, thanks very much for your time this morning.
You bet. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.